The thing that I think is going to be the end of that show is Shannon Sharpe is
gonna leave.
Shannon's the only athlete that will stand in front of Skip Bayless now. Sure they could.
Man, Shannon's the Shay Shay Club that he has.
Club Shay Shay.
Club Shay Shay.
Yeah.
Bro, he could take that shit to Amazon. He could take that shit to
he won't have any shortage of suitors.
That could be his show. Like if Undisputed stops tomorrow, Shannon will be fine.
At the same time, I think there's a small part in the back of Shannon's head where he knows, as much as he's had a Hall of Fame career, all this other stuff, his post-playing career, he owes a lot to Skip Bayless. Like... Ready, roll?
Let's go.
Spark it off.
What's poppin', people? Welcome back to another episode of Say Less with Kaz.
Yo.
Lowkey.
What up, man?
And Rosy.
What's up, Rosie?
What's up?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, guys.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
We're back together. Where'd you get a beer from?
Corner store.
Where did it just magically appear?
Yeah.
Jeez
There was
Louise.
no beers.
My goodness. So thank you all for tuning in for this week's episode of Say Less with Kaz, Lowkey and Rosy. As always, you can subscribe youtube.com/Kazeem.
Right.
Type in Say Less with Kaz, Lowkey and Rosy. Wherever you listen to podcasts, whether it's Spotify, Apple, Amazon, SoundCloud, Podbean, wherever the hell you listen to your joints. Make sure you click and subscribe. It's a brand new year.
It is.
It's a brand new year. Rosie missed our year-end shows. So we are back together for the first time since when? We did Mandy's show. We did Mandy and Bridget's.
Y'all did Mandy's show. I did separately.
Well, we were all in the same room.
Wait, no, y'all did it together. I did it separately.
Well, you're the music man, so they gave you.
I don't give a fuck. I shined on my own.
Damn, all right.
I shined on my own.
Lo said clear out.
Never mind.
Lo said ISO. All right, I feel you.
I see the 2-on-2. I'm
It's
like,
all
all right, cool.
good.
Let me take the ISO. I'll take it to the top of the key.
But shout out to Bridget Kelly, Mandy, for having us on the See the Thing Is year-end wrap-up. Podluck. It was a good time.
It was a great time.
The
Great
first
time over there.
yearly annual
Hell
potluck.
yeah.
It was a great time.
Fantastic
Great
time.
food, too.
Great food, great people. Man, great times at the at Rory and Maul's pod. I feel like it's been a while since we've really gotten back and gotten to the shit. So we missed a lot. We missed a lot. So we got a list. You got a list of stuff that we got to get to. So let's not waste no damn time. And what's up? Let's go for it, man. Off rip.
All right.
YSL, Thugger, Young Thug, and affiliates are, well, some people are taking plea deals. Some people are not taking plea deals.
Majority
Kaz,
of
why
them.
are you grabbing your... Never mind.
I may need to deploy soon.
Where'd you get those?
Look at those.
Like, what made you say, like, yeah, I'm a cop these? Like,
I take fashion risks though. Sometimes.
All the
Sometimes I'll be like, you know what?
is that a risk or just a bad decision?
Why is it a bad decision?
I don't see
I
that.
kind of like how they popped off.
What's wrong?
It's like, what's the purpose for that?
What's the
What's the purpose?
Why not?
I'm just
Why
saying,
does
like,
it bother you?
No,
like
I'm just asking the purpose. It don't bother me because I'm not wearing.
If I put something on these and then I could buckle them up for safety, so that's safe.
It's just so unnecessary.
I could put a small woodland animal in here.
Right, that's what
and
I'm saying.
they'll be nice,
It's so,
safe and
it's
secure.
So unnecessary.
I can pull it like you know when you go on a roller coaster,
Like,
and they put the lap belt on
it just
you,
looks unnecessary.
and you just boom, boom, boom. That's what
Like,
It's because his legs are so heavy.
no, it's just
I
like
don't know,
that
buddy,
shit is so unnecessary.
You know, one time.
Somebody who, you would like that song with those pants on. Yeah. People who like that song wear those type of pants.
No, not really. But anyway, YSL, it's been rough for them. It doesn't look like Thug is getting out, bro. I don't think Thug is getting out. For a while, I thought, I was looking at our Instagram analysts or Instagram paralegals. Had me convinced that Young Thug was gonna get a nice, shorter sentence, especially once Gunna was released, and
Based on what?
Well, if you listen to Instagram paralegals, they'd be like, oh, they're doing all this because they're setting up for Thug to take a lesser deal, and then he's home sooner than later. And the more the days go by, and the more people take deals. Again, disclaimer on this podcast. None of us know any legal mumbo jumbo. We don't know nothing. I don't know nothing. I want to speak for y'all. But it just seems like as the days go by, more and more of his affiliates are taking deals to go home, basically. And it just seems like from the outside looking in, they want the head guy. We've seen so many movies where we're watching movies, Law and Order, TV shows, whatever, and that's all. That's the extent of my law knowledge. If it didn't happen to Stabler, if it didn't happen to Stabler or Liv Benson, I really won't understand what it is. But most of the time, when Stabler and Liv are trying to crack down on a organized crime unit, they usually want the leader. So they tell people to say certain things, take certain things, because they don't really have any interest in
them.
The soldiers. They are interested in getting the person who is at the very top. And according to a lot of people, people reporting on this and folks in the courtroom, it seems like Thugger was at the very tippity top. And
Well, I thought we knew that.
Yeah. But it's been it's all
But like
but
seeing
confirmed.
people come out, it's like, oh.
They make every artist or person associated to YSL that's had to take a plea deal has had to repeat like a certain statement saying like, yes, I acknowledge that YSL is a gang. Yes, I acknowledge we sold drugs. Yes, I acknowledge all this other stuff. And it all comes up like, it's some other name, and then it's Jeffrey Williams, which is Young Thug's government name. When they say, hey, do you acknowledge that XYZ was this? And it ain't looking good, bro. Like, it kind of,
Damn, so we're not going to
I never want to see anybody in jail, especially a black man that is trying to change his community and change his friends and family, their outlook on life. But at the end of the day, bro, like, this case has been going on. Not this case, but like this whole situation has been going on since like 2014.
Like the way they've been building it.
Yeah.
And we all know the feds, their rate, their conviction rate is like 98%.
They don't pull you in until they know they got everything.
So that's why I'm like, bro, I not know for a fact because I'm not in any legal, bubble or circle. This nigga ain't coming home.
I don't think he's coming home, bro.
And it's just like, it's just that. Like, that's just the reality of it. Like, I mean, I know his lawyer got 56 charges dropped off or some shit like that.
Yeah, last I read, he's going to be charged for 8 charges, I think, or something like that. I'm not necessarily which ones they are. They aren't necessarily right in front of me, but I mean, it's going to be rough at
He
that.
got 56 dropped?
He got 50 from the last thing that I read, if I'm stating it correctly, I think the lawyer got 56 charges dropped.
So that album that he was about to put out,
I don't think it's. I mean, it might still.
It's done. It was gonna come out like 2 weeks after, like.
Is that all you
when he got arrested?
Is that all you care about, Rosie? You only care about this person's music?
That's crazy. That nigga about to serve life, and we're like, yeah. So that album that
he's
about
to be in jail for a long time. He probably
at least thing we should be worried about is that nigga music.
He's doing football numbers, probably, Rosie. And you sit here worried about this man's.
These kids these days, man.
I do care about the album.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
Oh, yeah,
you care about the album.
Yeah, you don't care about
anything else. Anything else.
No, but then that album can keep providing for his family.
I guess. I mean, I'm sure his family's
that's a good way to twist it. Yeah. It's a good way to spin it.
Could be good with your words. Gotta be quicker than that.
I mean, it's like I do feel sorry, but I don't. It's like, bro, you knew what you was doing.
Yeah.
It's like we can't keep like.
I feel bad, but it's like
I feel bad too. You don't want no one in jail.
He was kind of wild.
Kind of.
He was kind of
like we're shocked this nigga's about to get football numbers.
I really don't want him to go to jail, but then the more I see him,
he's already there.
He's already there. But it's
for a long time. But the more I'm just like,
it's like, bro, you seen the text messages, all the evidence they like, bro, was terrorizing.
He said he was wilding.
The nigga was bugging.
Like, I'm not gonna repeat what was said in some of those text messages.
Like, come on,
bro.
I didn't see those.
Look, when you leave, at
least one of them said something along the lines of, "You still ain't killed that nigga yet."
Oh shit!
Yeah, and I'm just like,
oh.
It's like you can't hide behind none of that shit. Yeah. You can't even be like,
hold on, these are the messages, and y'all feel bad.
I just said no. I don't.
I mean, I don't know the man personally. I don't like seeing anybody go to jail that's trying to change.
But it's like,
their
nigga,
life,
if you're doing that,
like, hey, who knows?
That's
Who
heavy,
knows?
bro.
That
I'm
is
sorry.
heavy.
That's
I
heavy as
don't
shit.
want to get too much into it, but I feel like we had to touch on it because I feel like by the time this episode drops, we might know what the business is for him. So
I
if
don't
you're
even
a
know
Thugger
where we are
fan,
in that case because it's just like every day somebody just dropping like flies, like with plea deals. So it's just
crazy.
like, damn, they all just dropping out.
I feel like he's telling them to.
That's what I thought. I thought he was like, hey man, like
I feel like he's like, they're gonna get me anyway.
y'all
So
could
just
go
do
home.
what you do.
Yeah, like if y'all could go home and I'll stay,
Yeah.
I'll eat it for y'all. You know what I mean?
That'd be the
So it's
honorable
like-
thing to do.
It would be, and honestly,
probably we'll probably know when
I'm
he
sure
gets.
he'll be fine in jail.
No, I'm gonna say we'll probably know when he does
It's
get
not a
his
sentence you wanna
whatever.
hear.
I mean, not
verdict?
like, I mean, I'm not trying to, I didn't mean to cut you off. Like, I'm not saying like he'll be fine in jail, like go rot in jail, but it's like, certain people
I'll
like,
be alright.
Bro, it's like when you drop like your kid off at grandma's house, you'll be fine at Nana's house. Like, bro, this is not Nana's house. This is
like
the
obviously
penitentiary.
jail
Stop milking
sucks. Like,
cookies.
jail definitely sucks, obviously. And like, nobody wants to see that happen to that man, but it's just like, I mean, I'm sure he has folks in there that will make sure he's okay.
There's also
you know
folks
what
in
I'm
there
saying?
that he might have had problems
That
with.
is
like,
true.
So
That
that's
is
it's the
true.
wild, wild west in there. But
Whew,
praying
man.
for Young Thug. Just hopefully he did, whatever.
I feel like once he gets his verdict and all that, we will find out what happened through Gunna's music.
You know what's messed up? Every time I heard like these like statements in the court, I'm like, that's gonna make a fire intro. like anytime like they're saying like the YSL gang was dangerous.
Yeah, they're gonna they're definitely
like I'm
gonna
like,
use it.
that's gonna hit
That's
so
gonna hit so
hard.
hard.
Like,
Yeah, if they know it's smart, they won't use that shit anymore.
they
based on-
will.
They
They
will.
will. I
The court
promise
one?
you.
And that's why I don't feel
promise
bad
you.
for these niggas sometimes, because it's like, yo,
My
you see what you're
gosh.
going through right now, and y'all still want to polarize this shit? Like,
Lil'
damn,
Kane on
bro.
the track.
It's just rinse and repeat. We
My
don't
goodness.
get it.
Let's jump to the next segment, man. Big topic that's been on the top of lots of people's thoughts recently has been Nepo-Babies. Have you ever dealt with a Nepo baby, Rosie?
I don't think so.
Have you ever dealt with a Nepo baby, Lo?
What do you mean, like dealt with?
So a Nepo baby, for those who may not be aware of what that is, a Nepo baby is a child who has famous parents and has helped them in their career because of their last name or their fame and stuff like that. An example of a Nepo baby would be King Combs, Denzel Washington's son, Coi Leray, gosh, who else? Yeah, I said John David Washington. I said it twice, and I know he's been like super against it. But yeah, I feel like I'll definitely put a link in here about like all the Nepo babies. All right, boom, here we go. Yeah, I mean Jaden Smith.
Oh, yeah. Smith kids.
Yeah, all the
Yeah.
Smith kids. It's a lot, bro.
But Jaden is
Tracy Ellis Ross, thank you, Jay. But I mean, all right, so let's talk about it, right?
Okay.
What's the difference between a Nepo baby and just doing the family business? Is there a difference? Like, I don't think there's a difference, right? Like, do you think people are just a little bit uptight because it's like it's Hollywood?
What do you
it's
mean?
stardom,
What do you
it's
mean
fame?
when you say family business?
like if somebody owns a store and then the dad decides to not work the store no more and then the kid takes over the store. The kid grows up working in the store.
All right. Well, he's not.
It's like Will Smith did music. and,
There's not an amount of fame you're collecting by running the family business.
But what's
right?
it? But that's the thing,
This is
though.
this is the difference.
All right, so Bronny
You're not-
James. Bronny James is technically a Nepo baby. He don't
Why?
got to go out there and work. He still got to compete, but he has.
That's not a Nepo baby.
Technically, he is.
Yeah.
Technically, he is. You know what I mean?
he's a
His
beast.
father's LeBron
but
James, but you know.
Is that the only reason why he got into Sierra Canyon or whatever that's the place?
Well, Sierra Canyon's like the West Coast version of fame, right? Like all the famous people's kids go there.
Okay.
So it's like, yeah, like you needed to make a good amount of money, or like your parents are super famous or whatever to go to that high school. So I mean, if he was,
I don't think the nepotism breeded his competitiveness and
Right.
ability to play ball.
Right.
So that's why I don't call him a Nepo baby.
right. Do you think it
King
has
Combs
to
is a
do-
Nepo baby.
Right. So do you think it has to do with the occupation? Like, I think the occupation is what makes all the difference, right? Like, there's certain people that can literally walk you into the door because of who your parents are.
Yeah.
Right? And you could cut the line. You don't got to really go to school for certain shit.
Yeah.
You don't really got to do a lot of stuff. They could be like, you know what? I'll take a chance on Lowkey's kid because I'm hiring a new radio host.
Yeah.
And I know Low was a phenomenal radio host in his day. I'm going to hire Low's kid before
That's nepotism.
XYZ.
That's nepotism.
Nepotism.
Yeah.
Nepo-Babies,
Yeah.
right?
I gotta say it
But
like that.
I feel like this is also a part of me that kind of feels like we're kind of, not we, but I feel like there's, people that's a little jealousy. A little bit jealousy.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
Because it's
They're
the-
skipping the line. Why would it be
I'm
jealousy?
fucking hating.
If you have
shit.
kids, wouldn't you want them to follow in your foot? Like, who
And their
doesn't want their children
the
to be like,
jealousy?
I wanna be just like you,
jealousy
Daddy?
comes from because my kids aren't in that position. So yeah, that's a rightful jealous.
We gotta do it the
believable to
regular
have.
way.
Yeah, I got to do it the regular way. So
Yeah.
yeah, like my kid is a phenomenal singer, or my kid's a phenomenal producer, rapper.
Yeah.
And here comes King Combs.
Two-stepping.
Just two-stepping right past my kid,
Take
who I
that.
know is better than him.
What's the Kodak song though? How it go
The
again?
Can't Stop, Won't Stop shit.
Can't stop, won't stop, bad boy. Hey. And then
Hey.
to be fair though,
no,
all right,
it's not to be fair.
Looking
Let's be fair.
looking just like
That's
Diddy.
literally a ripoff.
let's be fair. Let's be fair.
So hold on, this is like,
Like-
double nepotism, right? Because right,
Mama.
he took his own dad's song.
Took his dad's
Sampled
song,
that.
cleared the
Sampled his
sample,
dad.
he cleared that quickly. He was like,
Quickly.
yeah, of course.
Text
yeah.
message.
sped up the record.
He probably cleared it himself. He probably walked into the bedroom and was like, I'll sign for your dad.
And that's,
They look just alike.
that is clear nepotism. Now, I'm not saying
I do want to say, to be fair, King Combs did put out a lot of songs that did not hit. He put out a lot of bricks.
That's not to be fair.
that's not to be fair.
Proving the point.
That's proving our point. As
Okay.
many chances as he's getting, it's because of a direct link to who his dad is.
Okay,
If
so-
my kid puts out 5 to 6 records and they all flop,
Okay.
I'm never be heard. Like my kids never be heard from again.
Okay.
It's like we're wasting our time with Lowkey's kid.
Also,
Here comes King Combs.
Can't
But
stop,
one
won't
song,
stop.
two
but
songs,
also, but let's
3
let's
songs.
think about it like this. Say I'm somebody who's in charge of either hiring, signing, whatever, giving the opportunity out, right? You got to think some of these kids were literally probably born to do this. Like they were probably around just by osmosis. Just don't worry if Puff writes rhymes, he writes checks, right? That swag, that confidence, being in that business, growing up in that business, it gives you a different sort of outlook. Same thing with like Bronny James, right? Like he watched his dad be like the greatest basketball player in the world forever. And we've seen the greatest basketball player in the world have kids play basketball that wasn't that good. You know what I mean? Like Steph Curry.
Did they want to play?
Steph Curry's a Nepo baby. You know what I mean? Like his dad was in the league, Del Curry.
Yeah, but
That's not.
Steph
No, that's
Curry.
not.
How's
That's
it?
not. That's not a
Do you
Nepo
think
baby.
because?
That's
Do you
not
think
a Nepo
because?
baby.
Okay, so if the occupation is at the end of the day is competition, like at the end of the day, like you have to go up against me, right?
It's talent.
Does that make
That's
a difference?
talent. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's very, very much so because Steph, his father was a very, very prolific NBA player.
Mm-hmm.
Steph still went to Davidson and still torched it down.
And
And
yes,
then came to Golden State and
Yes.
didn't leave the franchise and helped build that franchise into a dynasty.
as good as Dell is,
Dell was very good.
Steph
Has
is worlds
surpassed.
better than his dad. You know what
But
I mean?
it's not because like he's not good or where he's at because of nepotism. He's
Right.
good in where he's at because he has a good upbringing
Okay.
that
But
helped.
he also
So
had.
let's switch it, right? Let's think of Coi Leray, right?
the fuck her father do?
Exactly. Exactly. So she's technically a Nepo baby because she grew up in the industry, right? But Coi Leray already has put out better music than her dad ever did. You know what I
Ever
mean?
put out.
And nobody even, I mean, like, people know that Benzino's her dad, but like, I don't think people are like, oh man, she's only on with Benzino. Like, no, she's gotten there, I think, through her own, to me, she's gotten popularity through her own volition. I don't think people are.
I would assume so, but I think I don't even want to call
I feel like she got into that industry though because of her father, because she was
Yeah.
around it, etc.
Yeah,
made
like
her
by
own connections.
osmosis.
Yeah.
Like if you grow up and you just see something as a child, like naturally
Right.
you're gonna gravitate towards it. And if like your dad or your mom's job is something that is highly entertaining, pays well, like who are we to say like you can't take advantage of those opportunities?
we're not. No,
because-
we're not. We're not
I'm
saying.
not saying we. I'm just saying.
not
I'm just
but
putting it out there.
there are other people who have the right to feel like fuck. You got you skip the line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's just the lay of the land.
Is it bitter bitch syndrome? Is niggas being
No,
bitter?
it's just like, yo, bro, if we're
bitter
standing in line at the deli
Uh.
and one of the regulars come in and they skip you, you'll be like, yo, what the fuck? Like I was here first. But it's just like,
So at what point, okay, here's my next question. At what point is it on the responsibility of the parents to be like, listen, you've grown up with a severe amount of advantages that a lot of people do not have in this life. Like, I need you, I own a deli, right? Same example, I own a deli, right? If I'm making a sandwich, I don't want you, I don't care who you think you are. If I have a line, you wait in the back of the line like every other paying customer. The day you come in here, cut the line, and take a sandwich just because you're my kid or whatever, I'm gonna tell you get the fuck in the back of the line. Is that at some point, is it on the parents to raise them to be like, listen, be aware of your favoritism, be aware of your entitlement,
well,
but
I mean,
also don't use it to
the first question is, if the parents own a deli, there should be food now. So you shouldn't be coming out here.
You don't know. Maybe the sandwich is smacking at the deli, bro.
You shouldn't be coming out here and making me cook again.
I'll tell you this. If my mama owned a deli and the deli was on the way home from school, best believe I'm stopping home at the deli to get me a turkey sandwich.
Every day.
But it's like, I mean, there's...
Especially when I know it's on the house.
See, now you're using your advantage, and you can't do that. And I think the parents they got to set boundaries on where these advantages are used.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I think that as long as the parents set the boundaries, I think the kid will be all right. And I think they can use that moving forward in their life journey, where you don't abuse your privileges. I think the conversation is where we get upset about these Nepo-Babies is they abuse their privileges. I'm not mad that you're using it, but we get mad that you're abusing it. There's a big difference.
we get mad when they're successful.
Yeah, when you lean on it, it's like, all right, bro, we get it. That's your father or that's your mom, but like you keep leaning. At some point, you're gonna have to show a certain skill set from whatever you're trying to achieve.
Right.
You can only get so far in front of the line and stay there, despite who your parents are.
Okay, so
if you stay there based on your skill set, your dedication, your seriousness for said career or whatever, then the respect, comes in. But if you're just going along in your career, and I hate using this reference, but I think that's what the King Combs syndrome. It's like you're throwing records, and just one finally stuck. But because of you leaned on that advantage heavy with this one.
He definitely took advantage of the nostalgia of his dad. The fact that he looks the most like his dad.
Exactly.
No one's going to turn away from that record.
Yeah.
No one's going to turn away from that record.
For a year, I didn't even know that was his song for a minute. I thought it was just a Kodak record.
No, that's his.
For the longest time, I was like, oh, shit, he's on this song.
It's definitely his.
It's still kind of a bit of a
that's my whole...
All right, my last point on Nepo-Babies. At one point, is it... if you're the kid, how do you approach that? Like, do you just consciously avoid what your parents did because of
you're a
how people are
rebellious
gonna
kid,
think?
but I don't
We've
think
seen
most
that
kids-
happen. You know what I mean?
think
And
most
even
kids
then,
do that.
Say the question again.
like, do you purposely avoid the family business because if you're like, say your parents were fucking, I don't know.
Just
My
'cause you don't wanna-
parents. No,
just 'cause
at
you don't
one
wanna be
point.
tied into that
At one
reputation.
point, my parents.
Say your dad was Tom Joyner, bro. Like,
Well, no,
and you were
I
just
mean,
like,
if-
I'm not gonna do radio because
No,
my dad is.
if it's the same trajectory that I have like now, no, I would gravitate because that's what I want to do.
But see, so how do you know? How do you know there's not a baby out there that's like, listen, like I gravitate naturally towards basketball, towards singing.
The basketball
acting.
aspect can't be a Nepo baby thing.
Okay.
Like, because again, you still have to prove your talent
Right.
and your competitiveness to stay in whatever situation you're in.
Right.
Now, huh?
Of course. Look at John David Washington. John David Washington's a phenomenal actor. Great actor. Love his movies. Loved him in Ballers. Loved him in what was the other?
Reminds me of his dad
Tenet.
too
Tenet
much.
was good. Yeah. But his dad's Denzel Washington.
He reminds me of his dad.
You know what I mean?
See that? Okay, y'all keep going. Like,
But- and
the sports and the acting.
Okay, so
those two
let's
are
forget
separate.
sports because at the end of the day, like you got to compete. Like
Yeah.
at the
Right,
end
like
of the day,
LeBron
you have
can't
to
walk
beat
his son into the NBA draft and be like, here.
He's trying to.
I mean, but,
I was about to
but
say-
He's
all right,
basically
but-
saying like, I'm gonna
no.
play with my kid. So if you draft
All
my
right,
kid,
but-
I'm
Yeah.
All right, but to that point, his kid still has to
yes.
get to that level.
So let's
That's what I'm
talk.
saying.
So let's talk like acting then, like acting, singing, other forms of entertainment.
Denzel can walk his son to any audition room if he wanted to.
To be
any
fair,
agent
I think
in
any
classes.
agent,
I
if
think
he
John
wanted
David
to.
Washington was like,
I don't want that.
yeah, like I think, you know, if you read between the lines, him and his dad don't necessarily have the best relationship. You know what I'm saying? But I'm sure they're on great terms. But for a while, I think he felt how kind of like
Yeah,
we're
he didn't
talking.
wanna
It was like,
be,
I don't want
like,
people to think
associated.
just because my dad's Denzel that I'm not talented, that I can't do this.
And unfortunately, kids in those situations, whether it's, you know, King Combs or Denzel's kid or whatever the case is, they're guilty by association. So if Puff never walked Christian into a label or a radio station or whatever, the association is already clouding his, you know, the just clouding him. Denzel's, you know, son, phenomenal roles he's played. The joint on Netflix, the black and white joint, Ballers, a bunch of shit. We don't know how he got those roles, but because it's guilty by association.
You hear him talk for too long, you're like, Denzel's your daddy.
And that's fine.
Like he has like the inflections a little bit.
Yeah,
I'm like,
Yeah, that's fine.
I
But
didn't
dad,
know.
bro.
When I was watching Ballers, I didn't know. And I was
Yeah.
like, he reminds me of somebody.
I didn't.
Like,
Then
so
he kept talking-
he starts talking like this, and when he starts talking with the inflection in his voice,
Yeah.
and, you know, I'm like, oh yeah,
yeah.
that's,
And then he has his mannerisms, too.
He got the same
Well,
mannerisms.
that's his son,
you
so
know what
I
mean?
know,
So,
but that's why I didn't know at
genetics,
first.
bro.
Yeah, I mean, anyway, the guilty by association card is always going to happen with these kids or these, you know, younger children. So
Yeah.
it's like you can't do anything about it.
That's facts.
You know what I mean?
That's
So
facts.
I'm glad certain kids set themselves apart. Like, yo, listen, I got this on my own out the mud. Yeah, my last name helped. It's like any dummy can understand that.
But any kid that says that, we're going to be like, we don't believe you.
We need more people.
We
No,
don't
I'm just
believe
saying,
you.
like, but I mean, to your point about bitter bitch syndrome, it's not. Yeah, people are gonna be jealous.
People gonna be jealous.
That's just
Listen, I'll tell you
just
this,
the lay,
though.
that's the lay of the land.
If I had famous parents, you could be jealous of me, bro. I wouldn't give a fuck. I wouldn't give a fuck, bro. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, yeah.
And next.
Born better. Next. You know what I mean?
It is what it is.
Let's get to the next topic. A little somber topic. Well, not somber now because it looks like it's looking
It's getting good.
Damar Hamlin, one of the a safety for the Buffalo Bills. An incredibly scary moment happening on Monday Night Football this past week. Went to go tackle wide receiver T. Higgins for the Cincinnati Bengals, and I guess fell on him, or it seemed like a pretty routine tackle.
Yeah, it seemed
And,
normal.
No,
at
he
first.
drove his helmet into his chest.
Yeah, like as he was coming down,
Yeah.
like you could
Not
see
purposefully.
It.
It's just like a
Yeah,
regular.
it was a
it's like
football
routine,
play,
yeah,
man. Like it
routine football
happens.
play,
It wasn't like he was, headhunting, but he went down and he needed CPR and life-saving techniques to keep him alive after the play. And according to reports, he had to be revived on the field. If you see a lot of the players' reactions, you could tell that it was some traumatic things that were happening. And for a number of days, he was in a coma. But, as of today, Friday, January 6th, he is awake. He is talking. He FaceTimed the Buffalo Bills team earlier today.
He did?
Yeah. The first thing that they asked about him, the first thing he asked when he came to, he wrote on a piece of paper who won the game, which is crazy to me. It's crazy to me.
It's crazy for several reasons.
Yes.
It's crazy because he knows the mentality he has.
Oh, they're not going to cancel the game. You know what I mean?
The thought
Like,
process behind that, like, yo, I almost died on this field, but
I don't even think it registered to him that
that too. But just like I'm sure it's starting to register how serious the injury was.
From people, I've talked to people in a coma or have been knocked out. Like it literally feels like you blink. It's like you
don't know what happens.
You don't know how much time passed. You don't know how long you was on the. You don't know nothing. It literally feels like you just blink and wake up.
Yeah,
and you're like, where the fuck am I? You know what I mean? So like,
but I'm sure they explain the severity of what happened to him.
Yeah,
and the fact that he still said who won the game lets you know that he knows the NFL is going to continue by any means.
Yeah,
right.
Which is a very fucked up process to have.
That's football players, man. Football players are like, yo, did my team win? Are we good? You know what I mean? I looked at it as like, yeah, it is nuts because he probably thought that, hey, they're not
They don't
going
give
to
a fuck.
cancel the game. They're just
Right.
going to move on. But like the fact that he was still thinking of his teammates when like literally the entire
The world's
world
thinking of him.
is thinking of him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like that was an amazing thing. But I mean, I want to talk about something that's a little bit more, I guess, the topic is football safety and just how far is too far. And like, it seems like this happens every single year where we don't know when it's going to like, if I had a son when I didn't play football. So me and Jazz talk about this a lot. And Jazz like, my son's absolutely not playing football. And I always say asterisk, unless he has a killer arm. like, if he has a fucking cannon for an arm, I'm like, baby.
Yeah, come on.
They're gonna throw a flag if they breathe on him. Like, he'll be fine.
He'll be fine.
You know?
Golden child.
Like that's my only thing. But I get it. Like, football is a savage sport. Like, it is modern day gladiators, and the dehumanization of the players because it's such a commodity from fantasy football to gambling now to, oh my gosh, I was going up against somebody who had Josh Allen on their team, and they just, they were concerned about the player, but they were also like,
which is fucked
consolation money is on the line, and like that's just us.
But that's fucked up.
You know what I mean? Like it's crazy, man. Like the NFL and football especially is such a dangerous sport. It's such a dangerous sport, and it's a scary sport, and we're just getting closer and closer and closer to a moment where somebody just doesn't wake up after a hit like that. And thank God he's okay, and thank God he's gonna recover and hopefully live like something close to a normal life, which is the biggest miracle anybody can ask for. But
I mean,
part of me
say he did die.
Well, technically he did twice.
Say he didn't make it off that field.
Yeah.
The NFL covers it for a month tops.
He doesn't have tenure. He doesn't have tenure.
If
he doesn't play another game, the NFL technically doesn't owe him another check.
That's the conversation that you have.
That's crazy.
How do you protect these players after these life-threatening injuries? What do you do to cultivate their mental health, their physical strength, and their pockets to the point where they've laid out everything on the field, sacrificed mentally, physically, socially, and even professionally to be in that position to make these big plays, get these big checks, and then one play in a blink of an eye, everything is taken away from you. And then now they just put you out on the curb. Niggas are going through it mentally, financially, and they're waiting for the next crop to come in on June 30th when the draft hits. So the conversation now is, what do we do?
It's the Army, bro. It's the Army. It's like a printing press. It's like, all right, next. Like, that's how they think. You are numbered.
So this is what I'm saying. So the conversation,
does he even play again?
I don't think he plays again, man. I mean, gosh, because
the NFL, you just said they're not going to owe him anything.
The story before the Damar injury was Tua Tagovailoa, who
had two concussions.
Three.
Oh, three.
3 concussions in one season.
And they let him play
He's
continuously.
Never. Are you kidding me? Like, first off, props. I forgot the guy's name, but they had the picture of the dude who like rushed on the field, the Bills assistant trainer who like gave CPR on the field, who literally saved this dude's life. Shouts to him, but
and he was just
he was an assistant trainer. You know what I mean? Like, so Denny Kellington. Shout out Denny Kellington, man. You're a real fucking hero, bro.
Yeah.
Real shit. Like, it's incredible to me. I mean, obviously the game's gonna have to change. Like, but the thing that's scary about it is that play that made that happen was so routine. It was like not one in a billion, and it happens all the time. It was a form tackle. Nobody went low. Nobody went high.
It was like a wide out, or it's like a screen.
Bro, T. Higgins caught the ball, wrapped him up, and like as he went down, I guess like as he was going down, like he just sort of like dipped his body like right onto his chest. So like you could kind of see like the floor in the chest sort of collapse him in a minute. And then he popped back up. Like, and then he popped back up like anything, and then you could just see him wobble for a second, and then he just went right back down. And I think the actual medical term for what happened to him was gosh, I forgot the name, but it's basically like if you time a hit on your heart on the right rhythm at the right exact moment, it can cause cardiac arrest, right? It's happened in hockey. I think somebody took a puck to the chest at the right moment, stopped the dude's heart, and luckily they saved his life. I think it happened in Christian Eriksen? That happened in football, soccer early this year, where he just collapsed on the floor.
I saw that.
And stuff like that. Like, it's scary, man. Like, it's, the NFL is a fucked up organization, and yes, they absolutely should guarantee these players contracts and guarantee that you're putting. If anything good comes from this incident, it's that we now have seen at the biggest spot. I think the only biggest possible spot that could have happened in was the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? Like, it was a Monday Night Football game. It was against two top AFC teams to determine who's going to have home field advantage. Like, it wasn't just a throwaway game. It was like the rare big Monday Night Football game. Two of the top faces of the league, Burrow and Allen, going up against each other. You can't hide from it. So I think the biggest thing that could have happened from this is making sure these players have guaranteed contracts, because now everybody knows this is a life-threatening game.
We knew that.
We knew, but sometimes
we never saw it.
Sometimes it needs to be drilled in your fucking head. Like, yo,
yeah, we know.
Like, he was not breathing. His heart stopped on the field. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Man, if anything, if we take anything away from this, let's just hope that these guaranteed contracts soon come to light, man. Other than that, I don't know what you can do. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, as messed up as it is, like, I don't know what you can do to prevent something like that happening.
You can't. I mean, like
because it was so routine.
Yeah, it was so routine. Like, you can't. There's nothing really. Yeah, there's nothing really else to prepare or to protect these players. Like, you can't pat them no more than they already are. I mean, maybe you could change the turf rules and actually get some real grass, but that's another topic.
Go to FedEx Field, see how they get down.
Yeah. But other than that, it's just like there's nothing else to do, which is why I say the conversation that needs to be had is, what do you do after these things happen? How do you protect these players and keep them healthy and nurse them back to health after they get these life-threatening injuries? Like, how do we make sure that money that they are putting their life on the line for is still there for them when they get out of the hospital?
That's the scary part.
That's the conversation that needs to be had.
Thank God my faith in humanity was kind of restored a little bit because of the GoFundMe for the toy
like $6
drive.
million now?
It's at $7 million now.
They said, like, at the start of the game, it was 10,000.
Man.
Yeah, they said the limit was at like 10 G's when the game started.
Wow.
And I think up to this point, like y'all just said, it's like 7 million.
Wow. I still can't believe it. I still can't believe this shit.
So there's some good people out there in America.
There's still good people out there, man.
More in the world.
It restored my faith in humanity. We're not all a bunch of savages that just want to say, football, hit, touchdown, beer, chicken.
I don't think that's how people say it.
Is that how it goes? Okay.
That's how it goes.
Let's jump to the next topic, man. More somber news, man. Quavo dropped tribute to Takeoff.
Yeah.
Definitely made me cry, man.
It made me cry.
Made me cry, bro. Like, that shit is painful, man. The amount, like, I remember watching the video as it happened and just seeing, like, Quavo hold Takeoff in his hands, like, screaming.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
which is fucked up that somebody
burned in my
that.
fucking. Oh my God! If you're ever, I wish that on nobody, man. Like, holding, like, your family in their arms as they take their last breath. I would wish that on nobody. So he dropped the tribute record to Takeoff, which is a beautiful song. And man, if you haven't seen it, go check it out. But apparently the alleged killer, posted $1 million bail.
Well, like I was trying to tell y'all the other day, when whatever set price your bail is posted at, you only have to pay 10% of it.
Yeah, he paid it in full.
So 10% of $1 million is what?
100,000.
Yeah, he paid it in full, right? Full cash, right? That's what I heard. Posted $1 million bail. I don't know. So maybe he just paid 100,000, and maybe I got the information wrong.
Yeah, that's what I'm assuming. When you post bail,
yeah,
you know, your bail set at $1 million. You're only supposed to pay 10% of it.
Apparently, the person who paid it said somebody who believes in his innocence or something like that. I think that was the quote.
So he didn't pay it himself.
I don't think he paid it himself. No.
Got you.
I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know, Rosy.
I don't like it.
I don't like it.
I don't like it.
It's like there's a lot of eyewitnesses there.
Wait,
bro.
is that the one that was with them?
Yeah, I don't know if he was with them, like one of his guests or whatever.
No, there was one dude
who shot that was in their
who
camp.
was he was riding around Houston with them. They were seen in a picture that night or that day.
Yeah, in the car.
In the car, they were seen.
Quavo posted.
Yeah, Quavo posted. They were in the car together. I don't know if was it him or it was somebody else that posted the picture. Rosie.
That posted the picture?
Yeah,
Quavo posted a video of him riding
so
around
was
a
it
car.
the guy that was in the car?
I don't know if that was him.
I think it's two different people then. But yeah, that bond being posted, 100,000 is very, very suspicious.
What'd you say, Jake?
Wow. I don't know, man. I hope their family gets justice, bro, because that shit sucks.
But so many people came out when it happened saying that they were there and they saw what happened. I'm like, where are those people now?
I mean, you know how
everybody had
such
a different story that night, and like we're accusing people of this thing and then that thing. I'm like, bro, like no, like all y'all there, y'all didn't see who fired the gun. Okay.
I don't know. I hear gunshots. I'm not looking. I'm out of there.
But as close and like the way they were detailing the story, you would have think that they saw everything happen. So it's like I don't want to hear that shit. Y'all don't know who it was, or you can't pick them out of a lineup if you're giving a fucking detailed step by step of how shit happened.
Yeah,
something not adding up.
Rest in peace, Takeoff, man. And also rest in peace, Gangsta Boo, man.
Yeah,
like, another legend we lost.
43 years old.
43 years old, a Memphis legend.
To what?
I mean, I don't know.
So it was an overdose? Or
that's I heard it was fentanyl, right?
That's what they allegedly. I'm not confirming anything. Allegedly.
That fucking Fenty, man. That's just taking people out.
Not Fenty.
I'm not.
Fentanyl.
Don't call it
Fenty.
Fentanyl. Sorry.
Yo, let's cheer up a little bit. Like it's getting really like fucking depressing right now.
Like, come on.
Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp.
Oh God.
Getting into it, man. Off the heels of Damar's injury, Hamlin's injury. Skip Bayless got on Twitter and said, Jake, if you could, do you have the exact tweet that caused the fracas?
I hate Skip Bayless' Twitter. It reminds me of Donald Trump.
Yeah, it's very automated. Like, you know, he doesn't
follow anybody.
Yeah, he doesn't follow anybody. And allegedly, he doesn't even like look at his Twitter. He just looks at
He says it. He was like, I don't know what's going on Twitter. I'm not in that world. I'm like, well, then why do you have one?
Well, he tweets, but he doesn't, look at it, allegedly.
Does he read anybody else's tweets?
I don't think so, no. I don't think he's ever.
So that's what I'm saying. What's the point of having it?
To tweet.
To tweet, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. I was putting the mic towards you so they could hear it.
They saw it.
They read it.
Can I be honest?
Yeah, you gonna say something crazy?
No, I don't think it's crazy. I don't think the tweet was that bad. I think it was definitely just the wrong messenger, wrong message. Who it was coming from, right? Like reading the tweet, I was like, I mean,
why is that your first thought? It doesn't matter whether you feel like it's insensitive or it's not insensitive. Like if this was said Monday morning.
Mm-hmm.
Cool, you got it.
Yeah,
I understand. Yeah, how do you position this game? This, that, and the third. This is a prime example of not reading the room. That's literally it, bro. Yeah. Like I don't care what you said before, or after, and then you left it up.
Yeah,
that's another, disheartening thing. No, it's not even.
That was my thing. The thing that was worse to me was him like Shannon Sharp takes the day off from Undisputed the next day. Doesn't even come on the show.
Doesn't want to see him, probably.
Doesn't want to see him. This also follows the week before, a couple weeks earlier, where Skip basically disrespected Shannon Sharp's Hall of Fame career to the defend Tom Brady, something that rubbed a lot of people the wrong way, rubbed me the wrong way. And it just looks at a guy like Skip Bayless who has done this for a long time. Like, he's done it with Allen Iverson. He's done it with LeBron James, clearly. Like, he's done it with a lot of athletes where he just dehumanizes them.
It's a white privilege thing also.
I don't even think it's white privilege. I just think it's...
Yes, it is.
I don't think it's white privilege. I just think he's just that's not a white people thing that he's doing. That's
just
him.
dick.
Like, he's just a dick. Like I'm not like, oh, like white people do that and
no,
get away
because
with it.
no. I'm not even gonna let that slide because
how is that white privilege?
Because he feels as though I did nothing wrong. He feels as though he's almost trying to be the victim. Like if you just hear the narrative and like really like listen to him and how he's saying, I think he's trying to put it like, well, I'm not taking it down.
Right.
I'm gonna stand on what I said, but it's just so fucking. And then like you bring up the Shannon Sharp thing. How do you find it in your gut to interject on an opinion where it means so much to Shannon? You could see how it means a lot to Shannon.
Yeah.
And he feels just normally that it's like, okay, well, it's like, I'm not taking this down.
It's like
and I'm gonna stand on it.
My partner just took a day off because from the outside looking in, it looked like Shannon Sharp was responding to the response of that tweet and be like, I'm not fucking with you right now. I'm mad at you. You handle that on your own. The first thing Shannon Sharp says when he comes back on the air is he says, listen, I know people think this is why I didn't come on the show, but really, my brother, we all know is Sterling Sharp, another great tight end, was damn near paralyzed on the field. And he said, this hits differently for me. So, like, I didn't want to... And he didn't even let him get that thought out.
That's my point.
And that's the part where I was just like...
That's just not being a dick.
I'm like, oh, you're just like you're just like something in here is just off.
That's
like, you can't even just see like this man is pouring his heart out and just like shut the fuck up.
That's not just being a dick. Like there's levels to being a dick. That's entitlement and that's privilege. The fact that I can say what I want when I want, despite how you feel, despite I know you feel this way because of what you saw on the football field, despite me not even being a football player, so I don't know the percentage of what you're feeling, but I still can get on this network and say, I'm not taking that tweet down because I stand on it despite what you just went through in the last 48 hours.
Because I'm the king of the hot take.
That's not a hot take. That's privilege.
I'm saying Skip is saying I'm the king of the hot take. If I go back on my word on what I stand on, I'm going back on who I built.
At this point, at this junction.
It's like
Skip, at that moment, that does not matter.
Yeah.
That does not matter.
Yeah.
That can be said after the fact. You felt that your brother's opinion or your brother's experience was not valuable. Or your friend, your cohort, your
coworker.
I think you're talking about
coworker.
All right, well,
but you're talking about Shannon talking about his brother.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Skip does not hold Shannon's relationship in any kind of value.
I don't like to psychoanalyze people, but he definitely strikes me as somebody who has I don't know what the name of the thing is, but when you just have no recollection of like human sort of like emotions and stuff like that, if you don't know how to, is it autism? I thought it was Asperger's. It is autism, right?
No, it's not autism.
I think it's Asperger's, where you just like it just doesn't register to you like human emotion. Like you just like, this is what I have to say and I have to say it.
Yeah.
And like that's
I'm
it.
sorry.
You know what I mean?
I'm deeming that shit as white privilege.
It's
I'm sorry.
Talking about Tourette's?
No. Tourette's is fuck. Like that's that's Tourette's. Like, bitch. Shit. That's not nice. Edit that if that's offensive. Stephen A does a fair amount of.
Watch this.
He does his fair amount. He does his fair amount of like, but Stephen A, I think Stephen A is a little bit different because Stephen A is outside, and Stephen A runs into a lot of these people in public. So like you could tell,
Skip is not,
he always makes it known like, hey, I got a relationship with this person. Hey, this is my guy. Da 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 da. Nobody goes on Undisputed anymore. The thing that I think is going to be the end of that show is Shannon Sharp
is gonna leave.
Shannon's the only athlete that will stand in front of Skip Bayless now. Sure, they could.
Man, Shannon's the Shay Shay Club that he
Club
has.
Shay
Shay
Shay.
Bro,
Yeah.
he could take that shit to Amazon. He could take that shit to.
He won't have any shortage of suitors.
That could be his show. Like if Undisputed stops tomorrow, Shannon will be fine.
At the same time, I think there's a small part in the back of Shannon's head where he knows, as much as he's had a Hall of Fame career, all this other stuff, his post-playing career, he owes a lot to Skip Bayless. Like it's a fucked up sort of catch-22 because it's like when you piece it all together, like Complex put together like a string of like incidents between them two, and I'm like, yeah, bro, that's the show. Like they disagree, like they're gonna go at each other.
What we saw,
but when some real life shit happens, you know what I mean, which is what happened with Damar Hamlin, and it hits somebody close to home, everything's gonna be looked at a different lens. Everything's gonna hit differently.
That wasn't them disagreeing or debating. Like that wasn't wasn't like what we've seen. That wasn't like the Tom Brady thing. That wasn't them going against like debating LeBron or the Cowboys.
Once he said,
that
I
wasn't
can't even get my monologue off. Like forget it. Go ahead.
That was different. I don't care if niggas say like
start the clock.
I'm like. No, I'm like, yo, like when I'm mad, I'm like, yo, go ahead.
Yeah, we all know what that sounds like. When you're just like
we know what that means. Just go ahead, go ahead.
When I'd rather protect my peace than to
crack you in the fucking jaw. Like,
I'm checked out. I'm checked out, man.
So that's what I'm saying. What we saw on Monday, that wasn't. I mean, we saw on Tuesday. That wasn't what we've seen in the past. And I don't care how people want to be like, yo, it's great TV. This is what they do. They debate. That wasn't what we've been watching.
The wild shit
that wasn't that.
The wild shit is. I don't have the numbers in front of me. I'm pretty sure it's some of the most highest rated TV they've had in a while. Because a lot of people, for a long time, nobody watched that show.
Yeah.
Like Shannon Sharp got that show a little bit more.
More juice.
You know what I mean? It's still not touching First Take as far as viewership, but yeah. I think. I mean, again, I don't have the numbers in front of me, but just off of like shit I see online, I see Shannon Sharp reaction memes, reaction videos, all this type of like Shannon is the show.
Right.
Like Skip is the foundation. You get Skip because he's the foundation of First Take. Fox wants their own version of that. Who are we gonna get in front of him? Let's get this, outspoken athlete who's, got a great
knowledgeable,
career,
a great career. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But that show doesn't go without Shannon.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's tricky, sticky, dicky. Tricky, sticky, dicky. We got a couple more things to get into before I gotta dip. Unless Jake want to sit in here for a minute. We didn't talk about the Tory trial together.
What was there to talk about?
Could we? Are we not gonna curse Rock Nation together? Rock Nation, you will pay.
That shit was funny.
You will pay dearly. Yeah, Tory was found guilty on all counts. Yeah, we kind of knew that was gonna
Shocker.
I think we were saying, was it me and you? We were talking about when I was just like, yeah, I think he's going to jail.
I said that shit from the jump, but everybody was trying to put their theories together. Like, well, I'm like, yo, the nigga shot at her.
Like they was talking about literally everything, and their defense was talking about everything in that trial except the fact, like, okay, this isn't a trial about who fucked who. This isn't a trial about who was drunker than who. There's a gun. Somebody was shot. Who did the shooting?
Right.
Some people said it was you. The victim says it was you.
The friend said it was you.
You're gonna get convicted, bro. Like that's
like, what are we talking about?
Like you're gonna get convicted, dog, and that's what happened, man. I don't know. I mean, I'm just glad I don't got to see
any more
the Instagram lawyer on Shade Room anymore.
Yeah.
Where the fuck did that guy come from?
Who?
That guy, that Instagram lawyer guy, the Indian looking dude. Who's just like,
is he like a certified lawyer or like?
I have no idea. He just popped up once the trial started. I just started seeing his face every day, and he's like, oh my gosh, yeah. And then Megan, they did this.
Yeah, like
I don't like.
Was he in the courtroom?
I wouldn't even know. I would not even know. You would just literally see him just walking around outside the courtroom, just explaining what happened in the courtroom afterwards.
Shit.
So he was in the courtroom.
Yeah, I think so. But I couldn't have known. It literally could have been anybody. Because there was no cameras.
That's the crazy part, that we just make anybody famous who will talk.
That's what made it so funny. I was just like, one day this guy didn't exist to me like a month ago. You don't remember this guy?
I remember.
This dude was breaking down every day in court.
I'm in good faith. I'm assuming he was in there. And I hope he just wasn't talking out his ass.
I don't know,
In good faith, I'm assuming he was somewhere in that
If
courtroom.
he was outside the courtroom, he was in the courtroom.
He definitely could have been a guy
Just gathering
who
information
knew a
outside.
guy that was in the courtroom. It was like, yo, this is what happened. You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't know. None of us would have any.
That would
It's like,
be fucking hilarious.
it's just so crazy how we just have so many opinions and angles and perspectives about a situation. One, we weren't in that truck. Two, we weren't at that house. And three, we weren't in that fucking courtroom.
Yeah.
But every day we wake up, there's a theory, there's a paragraph, there's a think piece, there's a op-ed, there's a rant, there's like where?
All because
how?
the 3 motherfuckers got drunk, yo.
I'm like, how do y'all niggas do this?
We get drunk all the time.
We get drunk all the time. I never shot nobody. Like, what
I'm
are
not
we
in
doing?
court.
Knock on wood. Like, I've never had to shoot nobody while drinking. You know?
If I gotta shoot you, my nigga, I don't really need to be outside.
No,
if I
man.
feel like I gotta shoot you, I shouldn't be outside.
First off, why you leaving Kylie Jenner's crib with the hammer? Like,
First
you
of
know
all,
what I mean?
An
I don't know.
unregistered hammer at
I'm
that.
not gonna be drunk with the hammer.
No.
That's-
The
I mean,
gun,
who am I to know? I don't have a gun.
the
Maybe I
gun
should
should have
get
been
one.
on security guard's waist, and that's that.
It should have been. It should have
Nigga
been.
was swimming in the pool.
But
with a
anyway,
fucking
how can we
9mm.
blame Rock Nation for this?
Nigga
Lil?
was doing swan dives with a 9mm. Leprechaun ass nigga, man. What the fuck?
How can we blame Rock Nation for this, Lo?
I don't know.
For-
Like I've been blaming Rock Nation all week for shit. So
Rock Nation!
yeah, I've been tweeting.
You
a
will
lot.
pay
I don't
dearly.
I didn't understand that.
I don't know. So apparently,
His deadbeat
it's-
dad.
You know, nigga logic. An amazing nigga logic that Rock Nation is like this all-knowing, all-powerful, like controls the legal system, controls the government, controls
Just everything,
all
huh?
day. I'm
Everything
like,
that has to do with Jay-Z or whatever the case is, anything that breathes or has a pulse, Rock Nation is responsible.
it's a question. It's a question we all got to ask ourselves, man.
What's the question?
What do we really think Jay-Z does for a living? Like, y'all really think this man has this much power over the legal system, where he's famously stood far and away from people who have been on his label that have gotten into legal trouble, unless it was like an unfair jailing. Like, he stepped in for the Meek shit because the circumstances around him going back to jail was ridiculous. He was riding a dirt bike. He was on probation. And it turns out now the judge who even sentenced him was more crooked than anybody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So yes, Hove used his influence to step in there. Motherfucker, are you kidding me?
Tory
Like,
shot at Megan.
bro, Dr. Nick could have solved this fucking case.
What
Bro.
influence from Jay-Z will you need to solve this case or
Gosh.
to find this man
I said
guilty?
Dr. Nick, not Dr. Nick. Who's the lawyer from The Simpsons? Was it gay? Played Phil Hartman, Lionel.
But yes.
Lionel Hutz. Lionel Hutz could have figured this damn thing out.
Nah,
Like,
yeah,
I
I
think
mean,
this
you're
guy's
right.
got
It's
it.
just like I don't know where Jay-Z could have stepped in and be like, hey, make sure this goes this way.
I
Like,
don't know why,
nah,
I,
my
just,
nigga.
I want to know why the dad said that.
I don't know. I think all of us just need to have like a black people meeting, and Jay-Z just needs to be at the head of it, and just be like, Jay, can you please just tell people?
No, niggas only scream Jay doing bad shit when they're in trouble.
when they're
That's the only time where niggas are blaming Rock Nation or Jay-Z when they get in trouble. Well, you know, Jay might monopolize. No, nigga, you
like,
did something dumb.
No, bro, you
You
shot.
monopolize. You
Right.
shot. Like, what the
Shouldn't have done that.
Like, you shot them up. It's like, nah, you know, Tory Lanez left Rock Nation, and that's why Hove tried to
Like,
get him
this
thrown in
nigga was
jail.
never on Rock Nation.
I'm like, that's like
they never
that's-
wanted to sign with Rock. Like, what is?
I'm like, that's what we're leaning on. That's
What's
what
the
we're doing.
correlation?
And then, lo and behold, all the audio comes out the day after the trial's done. All the text messages, all the evidence that we all saw.
I don't see Pop screaming anymore.
Timeline was real quiet after that shit, boy. Tell you that much.
So was Pops.
Well, there's one last chapter in this saga, and that's going to be the sentencing.
It was like January 27.
I think so.
Yeah, January 27,
What
2013.
wasn't he facing like
20,
20
20 years, 8 months in deportation.
and deportation?
Yeah.
So that's like the
Oh, he's
most he
going to
can get.
Toronto.
Huh?
That's like the most he can get.
I'm assuming. Like, again, I don't have a fucking law degree, so don't ask me. I'm
ask
not
me
trying to
shit.
turn in one of the paralegals or whatever the fuck they was called on the timeline. So
The paralegals.
Man,
and
I
illegals.
gotta break out in a little bit, but before we do, Lo,
mm,
I know it's a happy time for you.
why is it happy time? 'Cause I had a beer?
No, Because you're New York Giants back in the.
Oh yeah, listen.
Listen,
I didn't. You know how Kaz was like when they went undefeated, like when the Knicks went undefeated, like 6-0,
6-0.
whatever they went. And he said that they was going to the playoffs, and he was like, wait till we get back in April. Wait,
and he was
Knicks
wrong.
are getting to the playoffs
last year, bro. Not
this year. They going to the playoffs this year too.
No, last year.
They didn't go last year.
They didn't go last year.
They didn't. They didn't.
No. Yeah, they didn't go last year.
Kaz,
And he was like, "Yo, we in there, we in there." I kept my cool because I know my team, and we started out undefeated. I think we started out 6-0 or 7-0. Then we lost like 4 straight.
Why don't you support your team, bro?
You're not hearing what I'm saying. You're literally not hearing what I'm saying. What I'm saying is I know my team, and I know we have the second part of the season is always our meltdown. So I and which I saw in real time. I'm like, this is expected, but we held our ground. We tied against Washington.
And hey,
which helped us out.
You got you a quarterback, bro.
Which helped us
you
out.
Got you a quarterback. I'll pay that man. Pay that man Danny Dimes, bro. You got one.
They opted out for his 5th season contract, I think. Whatever the case is, we're in the first round of the playoffs. We were a wild card. We just demolished the Colts last week, 38-10 or whatever. We got the Eagles this weekend. Win or lose, we're still in it. It would help us if we do win.
I think he's sitting the guys, right?
I think
he should.
I think Taylor should start. We don't need Saquon out there.
No.
So yeah, we should sit the guys. Because whether we win or lose, our record doesn't matter.
Hey, listen, man, that's why the NFL football playoffs are so fun, because literally if you get in, everybody's got a shot. And now the Eagles are a little banged up.
Yep.
Dallas Cowboys don't look that strong to me. I mean, they look beatable. The Vikings look beatable.
They look beatable.
They look beatable,
we're
man.
probably gonna play.
That's gonna give you 2.
We're probably gonna play.
That's gonna give you 2. You just gotta take advantage.
We're probably gonna play
strong. Yo, bro, he reminds me of a taller, stronger Eli, man.
He runs faster.
Get him some weapons, man. Bring.
He's less goofy.
I think the Giants can make a run, bro.
Listen, don't try to support it. Don't try to support us now.
Why are you so afraid to root for your team, Lo? You're always waiting for the bad things to happen. Just be irrational. Be irrational, Lo.
Be hype.
Just be hype. It's your first time in the playoffs in almost a decade, bro.
If you would let me talk.
Be hype.
If you would let me talk, I understand. I understand. This is why you get so upset. That's why you get so upset. That's why he gets so upset.
Brian Dable.
That's why he gets so upset when his team loses.
Yes, Lo, that's the point of sports. And irrational confidence is okay in your team.
Okay, you got it.
Get irrational, bro. Your team's in the playoffs.
No.
Why do you not want to support them?
How? Do you watch me tweet every time these motherfuckers are playing?
You never seem happy to watch them play. You're just like, God, good they didn't piss me off. Good they didn't piss me off today.
But that's also how Low is.
Yes.
That's also how Low is.
I guess it worked because my team's in the playoffs and yours isn't.
Look how Low is.
You're irrational. Yes, your irrational behavior got your teams eliminated from the playoffs.
I don't think.
That's what it was.
It was me cheering. It wasn't Zach Wilson.
It was you.
All that cheering ain't do shit.
You being happy.
All that cheering ain't do shit. That cheering ain't do shit. I kept my calm. I kept my peace. I managed my expectations.
How do you enjoy it though?
And I'm very proud.
He doesn't enjoy it. There's no way.
Because I'm not smiling and dancing and tap dancing every time these niggas get involved. I'm glad that, bro.
You should try tap dancing. You should try being a little fucking happy for your team. They're over there killing themselves for your entertainment, and you're just like, at least they didn't piss me off this week.
Yeah, and they pissed me off 4 weeks in a row.
They went in there with no wide receivers.
I don't give a
Saquon
fuck.
Barkley took a year off. Motherfuckers thought Daniel Jones wasn't shit. You had a first-year coach, a first-year GM.
Okay, and I'm glad
lost damn near your whole defense.
I brought the fucking topic up.
Y'all lost your whole defense, and you can't even root for your boys? You got me more hype for your boys than you. You got me more hype for your boys than you.
Your irrational attitude is why your team sucks. All right, I'm done.
Yo,
shit.
I love when the Giants in the playoffs, man. I don't care. I'm not the biggest Giants fan. I'm a Jets fan first. I'm a Jets fan first. But nigga, I done seen 2 Super Bowls in my lifetime. I know how the city gets when the Giants is playing good, and I love to see it. So if I'm more hyped for your Giants than you,
Kaz, I get it, bro.
Come
Okay,
on,
cool.
son.
Yes, okay.
Came out doing Snow Angels next to
which was fucked up.
that was great.
No, you don't do that.
I loved it.
You don't do that.
I loved it.
You don't do that.
He's paralyzed.
No, that's fucked up. Because no, that's fucked up.
Wait, was he actually paralyzed?
Dude
He was injured.
Dude was injured.
It's
That's
the old
fucked.
Patrice O'Neal joke. No.
Nah, that was fucked up.
Well, he didn't know the dude was injured.
Man,
Told
listen.
him on the sideline.
Well, after.
And he doubled down.
Hey,
No, that's not cool.
yeah, I think I was screaming too much. I might have blew out the mics.
Yeah, what the fuck, bro?
Nah, man, I wasn't mad at the Thibodeau Snow Angels, bro. It is what it. First
They
off,
told him homeboy was injured and he still doubled down. That's not cool. You
He
know
did it
that.
again?
Yeah, that's not. He's like, put that man to sleep. That's not cool.
Hey,
Dead ass?
he on your team, bro.
You don't think that's wrong?
Nah, I don't think it's wrong.
Is the injured
I don't
man
think it's
okay?
wrong. I don't think it's wrong. He was okay.
Bro, he was injured,
Yeah,
and then
he's
they
injured.
told him he was injured, and
But
he
is he
still
okay?
doubled. Yeah, he's okay. That's despite the point. They
Alright.
told dude was injured. It was like, okay, I didn't know he was injured. That was my fault. He doubled down.
Mm-hmm.
That's not cool. That's cool to you?
Yeah. I was like, he's a savage, bro. Like, he don't give a fuck.
What
Like,
did he
no,
say? He
like,
put him to sleep?
Clearly, yes. Like, it's okay to laugh at it knowing that the dude's going to be all right. But I was
No,
like,
I'm not.
the fact yeah, bro. Like, that's your job. Your job
Your
is
job
to put
is not
that
to
dude on his
celebrate. Your
ass.
job is not to celebrate somebody being injured. That's not your job.
Technically, he wasn't injured. He was just down for a little bit.
He was injured, bro.
He's down for a little bit.
I was just down bad.
Down for a little bit. Goddamn. I got to dip. Jake, you want to hop in here real quick? Because I got to dip. Just help finish the show because I got to break in a little bit. You know how to. Knicks. Shit. Yeah, sorry. But fucking Thibodeau, man. It's all right, bro.
No, it's not.
I know what you was trying to do.
No, that shit is whack.
Hey, man.
And that's
How
my
long
team.
have we been recording? We could probably just wrap.
Oh yeah, we can
probably
wrap
Yeah,
right
that's
now.
about an hour.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
can wrap.
That's perfect. One more
Yeah,
topic. What's up? That sounded crazy. Let's save that for another day because I feel
Okay.
like that's a lot.
Yeah.
You know what it is, man. Thank you so much for listening to Say Less with Kaz, Lowkey and Rosy.
Yeah.
You can subscribe youtube.com/Kazeem. Make sure you support Kayvon Thibodeau and all his Snow Angel endeavors. And
I'm disappointed. I'm definitely disappointed in you.
G-Man. That wasn't a little bit.
I'm definitely disappointed.
It wasn't a little bit entertaining.
No, not at all.
You grew up in good 80s football. Motherfuckers used to do like
if someone
Unga Chaco.
if someone tells you, yo, like homeboy was injured,
Motherfuckers used to over their concussed bodies.
if someone tells you like, yo, homeboy,
Tootsie rolled shit.
Yes, shut the
that's
fuck
fine.
up.
I'm definitely disappointed.
Hey,
Oh,
Kayvon,
Lord.
lesson learned, bro. It's all right. I want to see what he does the next time he sacks somebody, though. That's going to be hilarious. Next time he sacks someone, he's probably just going to get up and just...
Yeah,
Be
because
on
that was
his
a
best
dickhead
behavior.
move.
Oh, Lord.
It's all right, Tibbs. Rookie mistake. He'll be all right. He's a rookie. He'll be back.
I don't give a fuck.
Damn, that's your boy.
That's your
Bro,
team.
I don't care, bro. That was an irresponsible thing. Like, how can
You're a bottom 5 Giants fan.
but I can't hold my own teammates responsible for some dumb shit that they did?
Whatever. Let it
They
go.
won.
It ain't that deep.
They won.
He did. He held himself accountable. It's all good. But like I said, thank you so much for tuning in for Say Less to Kaz, Lowkey, and Rosy. Like we always do with this time. Stay free. Stay safe. And always say less.
Sounds like a
See you next time, people.